So let's go ahead and create a new Java project. I click on create new project, and you see there are various templates using which you can create varieties of different project. So we'll look into some of this later. Probably what things like Spring and Android and Groove and Maven. These are something we would look for. So in this lesson, I want to show you how to create a simple Java application. So how is that? Just choose Java here, and there's nothing you have to choose here. Just click on next. So here again, create a project from template. If you use it, it will create in what? There are two templates, one command line app and hello world Java application. So we don't want this. We just want a simple empty Java project. So click on next. And here you give a name. Let's call it as my app, and you see this, it is saving my project in this location. In case of Windows, probably it would take C drive, colon, documents, or some other folder, and same way the module location could be different from actual root project location. What I want you to do is, if you are, suppose if it is in C drive or something, I want you to switch to D drive and give a different path. That is by selecting here, you'll be able to navigate and select a different path and click on open. So it will it will create the files in that location. So click on finish. It says file already exists. I was I had this project earlier for experiments, so I'll say yes, but you would not get the same option in your system. So there are tips when you open the IntelliJ, okay, and these are really useful. Read the tips and write down. Okay, maintain a notes. Basically, say for example, I myself even maintain a notes. See, IntelliJ notes. I have my notes for various different things. When I am studying new things, is often easy for us to forget whatever we have studied. So it's a good habit if we keep a track of whatever you have studied, and if you keep a notes. In fact, this is what I'm going to use it to make this video series now. So here, let's take the tip of the day. Says command. Sorry, it is control upper arrow or control down arrow to quickly move between methods in the editor. So I'm going to teach you about this tip in the coming lessons. So let me click on close here. I go here, you see there's a folder called src. I will right click here. In Windows you would have an option called open in explorer or something. Here I have an option called reveal in finder, and down you see there is an more like an what, every time I perform action you see an more like a subtitle. I'll explain that how that works. That may not be so in your system at this moment. So this is where the project is created. There is an what, these are the files what we see there. There is a src folder and there is nothing in that. So what I'll do, I'll go here and I will create new package. I'll call it as com slash com dot felight dot, let's say my app. Now if I go back to the file explorer, you can see that they have been well organized here, isn't it? Suppose if you have already studied in Eclipse, the same thing, this software is exactly same, so it does the same job. I'll right click here, go and create a new class. Let me call it as test, and here you can say, even you choose class, you can switch to any other things if you wish. So I'll simply choose class. I say okay. Now here in your system you may not see this kind of thing, so don't worry about that. I'm going to show you how does this things works. I'm going to help you configuring in your system also to have some out of the box the comments are generated. Now here, suppose if you want to generate the main method, all you have to do is you just have to say psvm and say enter. You see this is auto generated for us, and this args, it is again configurable like we have done in the Eclipse chapter. Suppose if you want to write sop statement, you can simply say s out and enter. That generates system.out.println. Let's say namaste from felight. So let's run this one. You can right click here, go to run test main, and you would see the output here. This is your console, and once you do that, you see every time you no need to go and right click and do that. Instead of that, there are two shortcuts. One is control shift r, you can do that does the same job, or you can always go and click run here. So this is a simple introduction to how to create a Java project and run it in IntelliJ. A few more things which I want to highlight here. You see there are so many different sections here. Okay, we are going to look into all of them. The first one, this is called as navigation bar, which you can turn off by going here to navigation and sorry, I think it's view and navigation bar, and again by pressing command up you can get that navigation bar back. Again, I'm going to teach you in one separate section about this. So for now, let's make navigation bar visible. You would be using this once in a while, and in the navigation bar you see this. This is where you can this help you to run or debug your project. And then this is called as a project explorer window. Here if you go here and if you click on this, you see this drop down. There are so many other perceptions of that. See, in terms of packages, you can see, you can go and see project files, you can see actual folders, how they are in the explorer. How do we see it? That just the same way. And if there are any problems, production and like that, there are many things are there. Let me for now stick to project. And now you see this here, there is a out folder is generated with the folder name production, my app, com, felight, my app. My app is a folder name, that is my project name. So in that the proper packages has been organized and the dot class files are generated. And what we see here is exactly something is generated here. You can see IntelliJ has generated a folder called out. Suppose if you are using Eclipse, there we saw there is a folder called bin. So it's quite just similar thing as they both does the same job. Com, felight, my app. So this is my deliverable. This feature I'll show you how to generate the library out of our project. And this is the project section. And there's something called structure. It will show the currently whatever the class you have it open, the complete structure of that. It's more like an outline in Eclipse. And coming to this down, we have this something called terminal. This is one of the powerful feature of IntelliJ. So that is whatever the project I have created, if I say pwd here, I am right in that place, in that location itself. So anything if I want to execute in the command line, that I can go ahead and do this here, terminal, and run. Obviously will show this basically our console in IntelliJ. And there is other tabs using which you can configure some database to work with. We'll look into this later. And Maven projects, if there's a Maven project, if you want to build, compile, build, clean, install, the many other things you can make use of. ANT pretty much is deprecated, we don't use this much anymore. And there are some the external libraries which is referring to. So in the coming lessons we'll go ahead and look into some more features of IntelliJ, and we'll have professional tips. In the next lesson we'll be working with navigation.